Hello there, all my beautiful fragrant dragon friends. My name is Ariel. I am the sassy dragon, and today we are back with some more perfume reviews for you guys. Today we're going to have a little bit of fun playing around with some of the numerous flankers of Yves Saint Laurent's Black Opium. Oh my goodness, the perfume with 1,000 flankers, it feels like. This is a great perfume in a lot of ways. I think the biggest thing that it suffers from is being overused, overdone. It got so popular when it first came out. This one was created and launched in 2014. Black Opium was created by Nathalie Lorson, Marie Salamange, Olivier Cresp, and Honorine Blanc. So we do have some really good perfumers all involved in this fragrance. This one hits with the notes. The top notes are pear, pink pepper, orange blossom, middle notes of coffee, jasmine, bitter almond, and licorice, and base notes of vanilla, patchouli, cashmere wood, and cedar. I've had this bottle for a long time. This is the original one, and I will say that yeah, for me, I mean, it still smells quite good. You know, when I first smell it, the pear really comes out strong, very fruity to me. The coffee in this was always almost non-existent because it just doesn't have that rich, sort of almost chocolatey mocha, you know, what you think of as coffee. It just doesn't have that for me. It never did. And I think a lot of people have said the same thing. The thing that's really lovely here, of course, you know, you have that fruitiness. You have the orange blossom and jasmine coming into the middle. But it's always got that very strong vanilla to me. So in some ways you could say it's a bit, you know, generic. It's a bit of a people pleaser. It's not necessarily groundbreaking, but it does smell quite lovely. So this is why many people love it. But there's also just as many people that hate this fragrance because I think it has just been worn to death. People are tired of smelling it. And even if they liked it initially, they're just kind of like, oh, I'm so over it. That's kind of where I got with it, which is why you can see I only used about half of this bottle. I still occasionally put it on. For me, the longevity was kind of medium. It wasn't super strong, nor was it super light. I probably get about 3 or 4, maybe 5 hours if I sprayed it on pretty decently out of that one before it really significantly started to fade. So that's, you know, kind of the beginning, the beginning of the Black Opium, you know, story here that we're going on today. The next one that I'm going to bring up, and I'm not going to do all the flankers, guys, because there are so many of them. I'm not going to be doing the green or the neon or the Blanche Nuit. There's quite a few of them. I'm just going to be doing kind of my personal faves and some of the newer ones. We're going to be looking at like the original we just did. Next, we're going to be looking at the intense version. This, unfortunately, as far as I know, has been discontinued by Yves Saint Laurent, which makes me very sad because I actually liked this one a lot. This was the one that came in the blue kind of color. I really dig the bottle. Like if you can see the light kind of shining through, it has this very, you know, blue sensibility. Even the bottle had, you know, the box had the blue glitter on it. So I really liked the way that that one looked aesthetically right off the bat. This one was released 5 years after the original. That was in 2019. And, you know, they basically brought in the exact same perfumer team. All the same noses that did the original one did this one as well. So we're going to look at the notes, and this is where it gets real fun for me. I love this one. Oh, I'm just going to put that right on there. This one doesn't come out with that sweet pear because it doesn't have the sweet pear. In the top notes, it replaced the pear with absinthe and boysenberry. Now, absinthe artemisia is a really interesting note. It is also commonly called as wormwood. It is a big ingredient in the old, you know, liqueur. Absinthe has that greenish color. But this, to me, it brings, oh, I love it. It has this nice, slightly bitter, slightly woodsy kind of quality to it. Slightly licorice-like, but not very strong there. Yeah, and the boysenberry in the top is very noticeable, and I do love a well done berry note. So this one just had that right off the bat. Again, this has the coffee, jasmine, and orange blossom in the middle. I would say for me, the coffee note is a little bit nicer here than in the original Black Opium, just because it smells a little bit more like what I expect coffee. There's a tiny bit of roastiness around it. You can definitely still smell those white flowers, but they're not quite as sweet because the pear is not in this one. And the base notes were vanilla, licorice, and sandalwood, which kind of gives it this nice, subtle, sensual base. This is absolutely one of my favorites. It is also one that lasted pretty well on me out of the Black Opium line. I think you can probably still grab, you know, bottles of this on eBay or, you know, different places, but on the whole, this one is been discontinued and it will not be brought back as far as I know, but I hope they change their mind because I actually really liked this one. It's one of my favorites from the Black Opium line. For me, the longevity was better than the original Black Opium, so I felt like it definitely lasted longer on my chemistry. The next one I'm going to get into is going to be Black Opium Extreme. So we go from intense to extreme. I don't know how far they're trying to push it, but the the adjectives they're using are really kind of funny. It's like, how extreme can extreme be? All right, so this one comes out with a blacked out little window, so you can't even see into it. I guess that's, you know, it's extremely private. It's like, I don't want you to see what's in here. The other difference to the bottle is instead of the smooth, shiny top, the whole thing, except for the little window, is coated in that, you know, kind of gritty glitter coating, okay? So it's all black with that silvery black glitter. This one, let's see, was made solely by Olivier Cresp. So he is the one that made this one and launched it in 2021, left behind the other 3 perfumers on this and took the helm on this himself. I actually really love this version. The biggest reason that I don't love it more is because for me, and this may be different for you because everyone's chemistry is a little different, but for me, this one just doesn't last. It just disappears on me very quickly, which is a real shame. I would say of the Black Opiums, all the ones I've tried, this is the least sweet of all of them. It doesn't have the pear. It doesn't have the berry. It doesn't have those sweet, fruity notes, so you do not get that sugary, fruity, sweet blast at all with it. To me, this is making it a little bit more unisex, but of course, like I say, my only rule in perfume is that there are no rules. If you enjoy the way something smells, I don't care who you are, wear it and enjoy it. But this is a little less sweet, so, you know, the way the mainstream would probably purport this is that it is a little less on that feminine side and it's a little more unisex. Anyone could really wear this. The top 2 notes are coffee and cacao. So this one, of all of them, has the most of the true kind of coffee cocoa scent in the top. Most definitely, yeah. It's still got the sweetness because we do have the bourbon vanilla and, you know, the jasmine and the orange blossom. That's going to be in the middle and the base. And we do have some nice patchouli rounding that out, but the patchouli is not very heavy. I actually really, really like this one. If it lasted longer, I would give this one even more of a dragon claw up. But because it doesn't, it's not something I reach for as often. I wish it lasted longer because I actually really like that, having a little less of the sweetness so that the coffee and cocoa can actually shine. They're still sweet. It's still, you know, it's still a Black Opium, but it's not quite as sugary syrupy. That's what I get from it. And now, y'all, we are going into the last one I'm going to review here today and give you my thoughts on it. And, you know, it's kind of like getting into that territory now of like, do we really need more flankers of Black Opium? But let me tell you, this one, the newest one, the Le Parfum, the most expensive one, I might add, by the way. I do think it's a bit overpriced. I'm just going to put that out there. It is so good. I know I shouldn't like it as much as I do, but it is so good. I really, really enjoyed this one. You know, the other perfume that Yves Saint Laurent just put out was also, you know, that the Libre version of Le Parfum, and it is a very good one as well. But I have to say, this one is awesome, and in some ways, it is, I don't know if I'd say it's the least similar to the Black Opium line in a way, but I think this one and the blue, the intense one, are my two favorites still, simply for their longevity and the way that they smell on me. The thing that I actually really dig about the bottle straight up on the Le Parfum version is that we have a very sleek, lacquered type bottle. It really calls to mind, like, you know, the lacquered boxes, you know, that just has that really beautiful Asian aesthetic. The only place that that gritty glitter is at all is right in the center front window. So it's just, it has a really nice aesthetic. It's a nice break from those kind of gritty, glittery perfume bottles, which I know they kind of look cool, but they don't always feel the nicest in your hand. This one was just launched last year, 2022. They brought back the whole team again. Honorine, Natalie, Olivier, and Marie. They are all back to do this fragrance. And so the top notes, we're getting back a little bit to the classics of Black Opium with the pear, the cinnamon, the green mandarin. The cinnamon and the green mandarin are new. The middle has jasmine sambac, of course, orange blossom, the classic fragrant, you know, white florals that are at the center of any Black Opium, it seems. It has what's something called solar notes, so I'm guessing they're whatever that would be. You know, you're throwing something that has a little bit of brightness, a little bit of maybe not quite fresh air, but that solar quality, that light quality. But the base notes are where this thing just soars, okay? The base notes are 4 incredible vanilla notes. Madagascar vanilla, bourbon vanilla, vanilla absolute, and a vanilla orchid. Oh my word. If you love vanilla, guys, this perfume is incredible. If you don't love vanilla, stay clear of it, but I have gotten a ton of compliments wearing this over the last month or so off and on. Every time I wear it, people are like, wow, that smells so good. It's definitely a favorite. I get more compliments on it than any of the other Black Opiums that I've worn. There's something about it that almost feels a little bit like a very, very glamorous, grown-up and mature vanilla perfume from the old body shop of the 90s, but it does, for me, have a little of quality, because in spite of the other notes, the vanilla is what shines here. There is also coffee and patchouli in the base, but this is the vanilla show in a bottle. This is vanilla's vehicle. They're driving this car, in my opinion. The other notes are just there to complement it. Oh, it is just so good. And it's not a foodie vanilla. It's not a cupcake vanilla, in my opinion. Nor is it overly dry, as in a Chanel vanilla. It's not that kind. It's that perfect middle for me, where it smells just edible enough, but not to the point where it just smells like a baked good. It does smell like a very sophisticated vanilla, a very glamorous one. I would say, I'm going to tell you, out of all of the Black Opiums that I've ever tried, the longevity on this one is the best for my personal chemistry. I really appreciate that about it. Yes, it does retail higher than the rest of these, but, you know, if you get a sale or you hit their site during a discount or something like that, you can get the price down a little bit. But this is a great one. It's probably my favorite, and so it kind of is funny that in spite of how many dang flankers that Yves Saint Laurent has produced, I would say maybe they saved the best for last, though I don't know if it is the last, because they really seem to have a thing about putting out flankers. But in my opinion, this one is sort of the pinnacle. Y'all, you can stop making Black Opium flankers. We're good. This one is kind of like where it's at. That's kind of the final achievement, if you ask me. Especially for the vanilla lovers out there, it is absolutely beautiful. I would recommend the extreme version if you don't like as much sweet and you want to have more of the coffee and cocoa. And if your chemistry, you know, works with it, it's great, because for me that doesn't last very long, but for you it might, because everybody has their own body, their own system. The original one, I mean, if you love it still, wear it. If you're not tired of it, wear it. I personally am kind of tired of it. I don't really reach for it anymore, and I kind of save the Intense, that blue absinthe one, for special occasions or when I'm just really feeling in the mood for that one, since it is a discontinued one. So I hope you enjoyed all these Black Opium perfumes. We take a little journey down the path of these today. Tell me what your favorite one is. Maybe I didn't review it, because like I said, there are other flankers to this fragrance. And also tell me what you would like to see me review in the future. I'm always open to ideas, and I'll be trying to get in here a little bit more often. It's been a very busy month, but I've been missing you guys, and I hope that I will be talking to you again very soon. Take care.